Welcome, travelers and adventurers, to the Eye of Plenty, where stories are told, info is shared, and goods are traded. We are thrilled to have you join us on this fine day. Pull up a chair, let us treat you a drink, and settle in as we entertain you with our stories.
Your humble hosts for tonight are none other than Owen and Liz, guiding you through another chapter. So, get comfy and enjoy the warmth of the fire, brought to you by Voices in the Tavern. Welcome to our fourth episode to Voices in the Tavern.
Yes, and if you guys are hearing a whirling noise in the background, I apologize as my dorm room has a very loud AC, and I will try to edit as much as I can post-recording, so if you hear just a small hum, or if you hear a hum, I apologize. If not, then my editing skills are great. Another thing I want to put out there is we are changing our uploading schedule. So when this has been recorded, the third episode will be uploaded at the same time, and then the following week, the fourth episode will be uploaded, and then when that is out, that is when we'll be recording our fifth episode.
Hopefully you understand all that.
Yes, and at some point, I will definitely put a little blurb in our channel description of what our schedule will look like. Especially that we record bi-weekly, it will just be easier to give us a week to edit, see if we need to fix anything, and then upload it before we record our next one. Other than that, let's start this episode, which is we're going to probably be talking about anything that has to do with the monsters and any creatures that you can come across in Dungeons and Dragons.
Whether they're hostile or friendly.
Indeed. And we'll be talking about some of our favorite ones, our most ones that we don't like, and yeah, just to start off, one of the creatures that I do like is, of course, is on the cover of the monster manual, which is the Beholder. And I have played a lesser version of it called the Zombie Beholder. Basically, the Beholder have 6 working rays, while the zombie one has 4 working rays. If you listen to our past episodes, you can know a little bit of the fun little Zombie Beholder. But the Beholder is one of my favorite monsters out there. It has it has 8 rays, and it does 10 rays? I was wrong again. Never mind. It has 10 rays, and it does all different things. We can go down the list, shall we? It can charm, it can paralyze, it can give you fear, slowing ray. We also have the invention ray, if that's correct. Owen, if I'm wrong.
Enervation.
Yes.
Which is basically taking the chronic damage. Telekinetic, a sleep ray, petrification, disintegration, and death.
The disintegration ray. A fun one, I'll say. That one is painful. I will put that out there. It's basically getting snapped by Thanos, if you want to put it in movie terms. That is one of my favorite creatures out there. Do you have one, Owen?
For hostile monsters, it will probably be dragons, whether they're chromatic or metallic.
Yeah, that's my number 1 too. Beholder's my number 2.
But my top creature would definitely be the dragon turtle.
The dragon what?
The dragon turtle.
Dragon turtle. Oh, I see. Yeah. Just for you listeners, we actually have the monster manual in our hands, and we are just looking through the book and finding our favorite ones, and also we will be talking about any creatures that we find throughout the book. We'll probably let you guys know about the most common ones you'll find, or the most rare ones you find.
Right.
And maybe talking about any creatures that we actually never interacted with yet, which we will get to that in a moment, because I know one creature that I did not interact with yet. But the dragon turtle, tell me about it.
Basically, it's a creature that dwells in the ocean. It has a 20 natural armor class. Its resistance to fire damage. It has a dark vision of 120 feet. it can breathe air and water thanks to its amphibious trait. And one of its new tricks that it has is a steam breath, which recharges every 5 to 6 turns, I believe. What it does is that it exhales a scalding steam in a 60-foot cone. Each creature within that cone would take about 15d6 of fire damage on a failed save, and half as much on a successful one. And being underwater doesn't grant resistance against this damage.
16d6.
15.
15. Oh, wow. So the max you can roll on that is like 90 damage.
At best.
At best.
But for those who don't want to roll the damage, it has an average number.
Yes.
So you'll take 52 damage.
Yeah, on those stat blocks it has average. So if you don't want to insta-kill your players, you can choose the average number. Or you can have them choose.
Or if you want to be one of those DMs who just wants to roll a giant pile of growl just to strike fear into your players.
Yeah. I will be guilty, and I will say I am one of those DMs. But I still give them the option. Do you want the average number, or you want me to roll? And most of the time they want me to roll. So I'm like, wonderful.
You chose this.
Exactly. Because if you put that creature with a lower level party that has like less than like 90 health, that's a total party kill right there.
And about that, there are some monsters that are more suited depending on what the party's level is, because that thing is called a challenge rating.
Yes. I will say I don't really follow the challenge rating, but I kind of look to see how powerful they are and would my party be able to handle it. Because I will say for my Sunday game, they were a level 5, but they also had a ship. So I was like, I could throw some hefty creatures at them. I gave them the sea serpent, a legendary sea serpent that has like a 300 health, but they were able to like chip it down with the cannons on their ship as well as the some of the spells that they have. The first time, I will say, there is a character out there, if he is listening, he knows what I'm going to be talking about. He is playing a panda race. And yes.
A panda?
Yes, and this is homebrewed. In courtesy of TikTok. I put that in the server in the beginning, and he's like, can I be this? I'm like, go ahead. And there's a one thing that he was able to have called a drunken haze. If the creature fails, basically they're drunk. And I forgot the actual, like, the full ability. I had to pull up his character sheet for it. But he did that to the sea serpent, and I rolled a natural 1. So the legendary sea serpent was drunk and couldn't keep chasing them. So for the first time, they were able to escape the sea serpent. But then I brought it back, and then they fully killed it.
And how could you tell it was the same sea serpent?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how could they tell it was like any marks that it had from a previous attack?
It was damaged, and also the sea serpent was... Also, sea serpents probably have, like, different scales and stuff. And someone rolled really high in their perception check, so they definitely knew it was that. They're like, oh, that's a problem. Yeah.
It's this guy again.
Basically. And it almost swallowed somebody, because I was going to do the full, like, the damage it does, but I was like, let me lessen the damage for them, so that when they do get higher level and get the HP that they need, then I can fully hit them. Because there's an ability out there where it can literally eat the creature. It did. This was an NPC, but they saved the NPC. I was really trying to kill him. But it's fine. He's alright. He's just a loyal knight.
Sometimes there are some NPCs that are beloved by the players, even if they're annoying or not.
Yeah. I will say my top favorite monster creature would be like you said, the dragons. But more specifically, I would have to say... I gotta say the blue dragon's my favorite, because I love fucking lightning, and come on. That's just Godzilla right there. Flying Godzilla. That can do some sort of lightning. And another thing with dragons is that there's different levels of them. There is the whirling, if I'm saying that word correctly.
Yeah, yes, the wormlings first, followed by the young variations, then the adults, and then the ancients, which are the more stronger and powerful of the dragons.
Yeah. And the reason why the dragon has different types of stat blocks for them is because you can still throw a dragon at them, but it's easy for the party to still enjoy it depending on what you give them. So let's say for a level 5, 6 party, I would throw a young blue dragon at them. Because there's 8 of them in the party, they could probably do it. And, yeah. Another thing is with, like, the ancient blue dragon, they have, like, the lightning breath, which is a 120-foot line that is 10 feet wide, and each creature in that goddamn line must take 16d10 damage with the average of 88. And the DC to save for this is a 23 dexterity saving throw for an ancient blue dragon. And another thing with the ancient blue dragon is that they're lawful evil. So they're not going to... alignment is like a whole other thing, but they're evil in a way, but they have the respect or whatever. And another thing I love about dragons is that they love their gold hoards. And like me, I'm a dice goblin, but soon I will be a dice dragon, and no one ain't gonna be touching my dice. As they're gonna stay on display in my future home, and no one's not touching that. I gotta say that one, and then of course the iconic red dragon is also really good. And honestly, the white dragon's really fun. I will put that out there because it does cold damage. So if your setting is in somewhere in the winter or in that snowy biome, just throw a white dragon at them. Let them deal with that.
and some things for those dragons. They have things called legendary resistances and legendary actions. Resistances give the monster a chance to succeed on a saving throw, or take less damage from the attack. While legendary actions can be taken during a player's turn. Yes. However, there are costs to use said actions.
Yes. So another thing is, for example, for the adult dragon, the red dragon, one of the there's 3 legendary actions that it has. It has detect, tail attack, or the wind attack. The wind attack costs 2 actions.
It's a wing, not wind.
Oh, well, yeah, potato. Because there are usually, when a creature has legendary actions, it's always going to be 3, unless it states otherwise. I have not seen anything less than that. Maybe I saw some that has 1 legendary action, but they're like a lesser legendary creature, I'll say. And another thing is, I will say, is with the dragons, there's like a whole dragon lore about like how certain dragons are mostly neutral on the matter and some are not. But with the Tiamat colors, which is, red, blue, black, green, and white, they're more on the chaotic side or evil side because it's the, not just chromatic dragons, they are the, oh my god, what type of dragons are they called?
Metallic?
Yes, no. Metallic?
Chromatics are more on the evil side. Yes. Metallics are the good side. And yes. I don't know where the gemstone dragonborn stand.
Honestly, I think it depends. Because in your world, you can make them evil or not.
Well, and if there's a chromatic dragonborn, some people would see them as evil, but that may be a bit stereotypical to them.
Yeah. And then, of course, like with the chromatic dragons, because, like Tiamat, they have those colors, and they tend to be on the evil side, while, like you said, the metallic ones used to be usually on the gooder side. Like Bahamut is the platinum dragon. He is a lawful dragon. There's also some other metallic dragons that are, as long as you don't screw around, I won't screw you up, basically.
Pretty much.
And I just opened up another page and I realized there are elementals, which is also really fun, and I need to work on those, especially with my Sunday campaign. Especially they're mostly in water, it kind of makes sense to have like the water elementals or air or at least earth. Like that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, where would you find an earth elemental? That would have to be on an island.
either on the island or it just shows up in the water. Just, hello.
Show up in the water. Depends on how deep the ocean is.
Yeah. I will say another creature that I do like is the giants, like the storm giants, fire giants. Like, those are so fun. I wish I was able to be able to fight them. Those are actually some creatures that I have not fought against yet. As, like, if you just think about it, it's, come on. Imagine a storm giant coming out of the water and you're screwed from that. That's a heavy creature. And another thing I will say, for some sort of a legendary creature, I have not fought a lich yet.
A lich.
A lich. Lich, for those who needed to figure out how to spell. Yes. The liches are a fun breed. Yes. And with the lich, it is a medium.
It has 4 legendary actions.
But it can only take 3 legendary actions. But you have the option of 4, which is really fun. Because you could do a paralyzing touch, you could do a frightening gaze, or disrupt life. And that is fun. So paralyzing touch is you can use the paralyze touch, which is it's a spell attack. It does 3d6 cold damage, and they must succeed on a con saving throw or be paralyzed for 1 minute. Another thing they could do is the frightened gaze. They can fix on a gaze within a creature within 10 feet. The target must succeed on a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw against his magic or be frightened for a minute. Fun. Another thing is that he can do is disrupt life. Each non-dead creature within 20 feet of the lich must make a DC 18 Constitution saving throw. And then if they fail, they take 66 necrotic damage. And he could do hefty damage. Of course, they are I believe a level 18 spellcaster, and they have 1 level 9 spell slot, which is Power Word Kill. Power Word Kill is one of the most powerful spells in this goddamn game. And
it depends on how many hit points you have, it instantly kills you.
Yep.
And some monsters are capable of spellcasting, some are not. That's why they use like physical attacks like bite, wing, talon, tail. Or whatever handheld weapon they have on them.
Yeah. Owlbear is a fun one to put into a game. They're so cute. I want to pet them.
Yeah, cute.
Yes, they are. They have a face of an owl, and the rest of it is a bear.
They basically have a dark vision of 60 feet. Their strongest stats, their strength, given up +5 modifier.
Yes.
And they have advantage on perception checks that rely on sight and smell.
Also, I'm trying to remember the most powerful creature that can basically just do stuff. I think it's called the Tarrasque.
Oh,
do we want to talk about that one? Oh,
so basically,
this guy is basically a big dinosaur, but not really a dinosaur. But please, let's tell our listeners what this creature can do.
The Tarrasque is a gargantuan monstrosity. It has no alignment to anyone. They have an armor class of 25. Their HP is 676. They have a +10 strength modifier. They're immune to fire, poison, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, and from non-magical attacks. And they're immune to charm, fright, paralysis, and poison. And they have a blind sight that could see within 120 feet. They have legendary resistance, magic resistance, a reflective carapace that anytime the Tarrasque is targeted by a magic missile, a line spell, or a spell that requires a ranged attack roll, you roll a d6, and on a 1 to 5, the Tarrasque is unaffected, but on a 6, the Tarrasque is unaffected, and the effect is reflected back at the caster as though it originated from the Tarrasque itself.
Wonderful.
And the Tarrasque has the Siege Monster trait, which allows it to deal double damage to objects and structures. They can multi-attack, they have a frightful presence, and they can potentially swallow you and get inside the stomach of the thing. It also has legendary actions, and
that's basically an encounter for a level 20 party, but even a level 20 party can't do anything. Think of the Tarrasque, the D&D Godzilla, but without the lightning breath. If you want to add the lightning breath, which may be something I would do, but it would be like insane damage. It would probably be, honestly, I would take the same thing as the Ancient Blue Dragon. It would be that same damage, the 16d10.
Yeah, and
That's 160 damage max. I just realized.
And
for the Ancient Blue Dragon, that's 160 damage max if you roll.
yeah, and
Anyways, yes.
And for when the Tarrasque attacks, it gets a plus 19 to hit.
Even if you roll a nat 1, that's a 20 right there.
Yes, and if the attack succeeds, for its bite attack it takes 4d12 plus 10. The claw attack is 4d8 plus 10. The horns 4d10 plus 10.
Jesus Christ.
And the tail is 46 plus 10. So his weakest attack would be his tail.
Yeah. Also, just for size, how big is it again?
It's a gargantuan monstrosity.
That will be a 5x5 space, I'm going to assume. And a 5x5 space, every square is about 5 feet.
Its gargantuan is 20 by 20 feet.
Oh, then 4x4 space. Sorry. So basically, this Tarrasque is about 20 feet tall. That's pretty big. If people want to make it even bigger, tall-wise, not wide-wise, you could probably make this guy like 30 feet tall, and you're just a speck for him.
Yeah, imagine some
just fleas.
Imagine some wizard accidentally cast enlarge on the thing.
Oh my god, that's gonna be a huge problem if someone do that. If someone does that, I will not be mad. I would honestly have newfound respect for them.
Yeah, like
just cause it more of a problem.
Just like some rogue player or some player that's been keeping their alignment hidden from the rest of the party, and then suddenly reveals as evil. Or
it could be some sort of a big bag and be like, you know what? Let's give you guys more of a problem. Enlarge!
Oh god, that would be so evil, but yet so cruel.
And just to specify on what that spell does, when you enlarge a creature, the size increases one category. It says from medium to large, for example. From that to, I don't even know, colossal is the next one, maybe?
I don't. This is clarifying.
I'm going to say colossal is the next one. That's like a 6x6 space, at least for me. And another thing is the target also has advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. The target attacks with an enlarged weapons or unarmed strike deal an extra, only a d4 damage, but it's still a lot of damage, especially if you put it on this guy. That's just a little extra. And then of course there's the reduce. Basically, if someone do the reduce spell on the Tarrasque, it goes down to a huge, I'm going to assume. It's still a problem, but at least some things gets reduced from that. So imagine you're dealing with Tarrasque and you're like, let's bring it down a size. Because they'll have disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, and their weapons or unarmed strike deals a d4 less damage. So hopefully the d4 will help not to one-shot you.
Yeah, hopefully.
We could talk about this guy for so long, but I want to know what creatures you have not fought yet. I told you mine. Some of mine.
Yeah. I mean, being a guy that likes being affiliated with water, I wouldn't mind going up against like a kraken at one point.
Ooh, fun one. Just be in a water-based campaign like the one on Sunday, and then there you go. You might have the chance.
Oh, I picked a good one because krakens have a thing called lair actions. A lair action is basically something the monster can use its environment around to give it the advantage against.
And they could be a pain in the butt.
Yeah, for example, initiative count 20 for a kraken. The kraken takes a lair action that costs one of the following. If a strong current moves through its lair, each creature within 60 feet of it must succeed on a DC 23 strength save or be pushed up to 60 feet away from the kraken. On success, the creature is pushed away 10 feet.
Mm.
And there's a thing called regional effects. The region containing the region containing a kraken's lair is warped by the creature's blasphemous presence, creating the following magical effects. The kraken can alter the weather at a will in a 6-mile radius centered on its lair. Water elementals coalesce within 6 miles of the lair, and aquatic creatures within 6 miles of the lair that have an intelligence score 2 or lower are charmed by the kraken and aggressive toward intruders in the area.
My God, he just has aura, man.
So basically,
what the younglings will say, they have aura.
So basically, any aquatic animal is under the kraken's control, and anything hostile or not hostile, they just attack it.
I need to put a pin on this creature, especially for, honestly, my Sunday campaign, like, the players there probably will know that one day I will throw the kraken at them, but right now, they have another problem. But I'm putting a pin in that because, so for the, just back to the sea serpent really quick, it was on a table, and someone rolled a 1 on the table, and that is why they were able to get the sea serpent. Someone else rolled a 1 again, same sea serpent, but damaged, and yeah. But a kraken, how much health do they have?
472, AC of 18. They are immune to lightning damage, and they're immune to frighten and paralysis.
They're immune to lightning damage, even though if you shoot lightning into water, they don't mix well. So he's not getting electrocuted, but honestly, no, that makes sense.
One of his actions is that it could create a lightning storm. It could magically create 3 bolts of lightning, each of which can strike a target the kraken can see within 120 feet. A target must succeed on a 23 dex save, or take 4d10 lightning damage on a failed save. And it could do the same with its legendary actions, but one of its legendary actions is that it could create an ink cloud.
Oh no. But is that only in the water that
Only
happens?
in the water, that's only effective.
Yeah, because if the party's on the ship, I mean, you can still do it, because I think of the Kraken from Sea of Thieves, that when your ship goes, the water just turns black and you're screwed. Basically, you could do the same, so you don't. So any creatures that are charmed by the lovely Kraken, they could just come onto the ship without them knowing. Sure. I'm going to put a pin in that because that is a cool strategy I might do.
But if one of your players were to go overboard and go into the murky water, they must succeed on a 23 con saving throw, or they'll take 3d10 poison damage, and the whole sea is heavily obscured. So.
Oh no!
So even if they can see underwater, they have to find the surface.
Yep, that's gonna be fun. But yeah, with
we've discussed our favorite monsters. We have discussed the ones we hated.
What is the one that I hate? Oh my god. I do not know. Like, I don't know the name of it, but I will say from the people that I played with, people hate Strahd. Unfortunately, yes, I know.
Yes.
He's a hateable creature. I will have to say, if I have to deal with the Lich, I will hate it with a passion, especially counterspell and stuff. I think I hate any creature that has counterspell.
Or silvery barbs.
Oh, don't get me started with that, please. And honestly, I think the Mimic I hate. I love them. It's a love-hate relationship, but I hate them because they can be anything. When I mean anything, Owen. Anything.
They could be a wall, they could be a chest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the most common one, a chest. But it could be anything. The DM could throw... It could be a purse. It could have been your coin purse the whole time, and you never know.
Wouldn't it be a bag of devouring then? Wouldn't it be a bag of devouring then?
Nah, that's a different thing. Because this is a creature. That's an item.
Right.
But I think that's another one I hate. And I don't hate that displacer bees, but it's gonna be a pain in the butt to figure out which one is real.
I think they're kind of cool.
They're cool, I will say that, but I think that's the only ability I hate from them because they could do that.
Yeah.
And if anyone who has seen Onger Among Thieves, you can see the representation of that. Oh, it's not a creature that I hate, but it's a pain in the butt to get out of, the gelatic cube. The Jello Cube, that's what I call them.
The gelatinous cube.
Yeah, I call them the Jello Cube because I can't say the actual name. That's a cute one. Let's see. Oh, I see you flipping through the book right now. Oh my god, there's so many creatures in here that I actually need to look at. Oh, I think these are a problem too.
What, the flumps?
Yes, I'm trying to remember. Oh, willow whips too. They're a pain in the butt too.
Will-o-wisps.
Yeah.
Trolls, I think, are annoying because of their regeneration process.
Oh, anything that has generation can go just die. We saw Shroud in the book. Yeah, nah.
Oh shoot! There's a note that actually says Count Strawn von Zarovich. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Water weirds.
But yeah, the willow whips are a pain in the butt. Please read the stats of those.
They have a flying speed of 50. They have a +9 to their dex scores. They're immune to lightning and poison, resistant to acid, cold, fire, necrotic, thunder, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks.
Before you continue, any creature that has that much resistance or immunities, it's impossible to kill unless you play your cards right. Continue.
When they can consume life. As a bonus action, the wisp can target one creature you can see within 5 feet of it that has 0 HP and still alive. The target must succeed on a DC con save against this magic or die. If the target dies, the will-o-wisp regains 3d6 hit points.
Yep.
It's also ephemeral, which means it can't wear or carry anything. It's got incorporeal movement, which means it can pass through walls.
Yep.
And it's got variable illumination, meaning it sheds sheds a light around it. So even if you're in a dark place, there's a light. They can, for their attacks, they can shock someone and they can become invisible.
Yep. And if there's an ability where people can be possessed, that's a problem. Oh, another creature that's fun to deal with, doppelgangers.
Doppelgangers?
Yep. Because you can screw up your party as the DM, and you can say, hey, you're a doppelganger. Have fun with that.
So
that's a fun little side quest to figure out who's the imposter. Basically playing Among Us in D&D at that point.
They're shape changers. They have a +6 to their deception.
Jesus Christ.
They can read thoughts.
Yep. They will know basically mostly everything about you. Even your deepest, darkest secrets for your character.
While reading the target's mind, has advantage on insight, deception, intimidation, and persuasion checks against the target.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Imagine an NPC, just a general shopkeeper, learning everything about the goddamn party. I'm just putting ideas out there for any other DMs that are probably listening and be like, you know what, maybe I should do that to my party. Thank you, Liz. I'll be like, you're welcome. Also, you're evil.
As for monsters that I don't like, I mean, I haven't encountered anything that I hate yet. But from the history of watching, say, Critical Role or just something along those lines, I think the one that I hate the most... they haven't finished a Tarrasque, but they did fight alongside it or something.
Yep.
Maybe a
No,
vampire.
they were fighting it.
Maybe a vampire.
Vampires are annoying, yeah.
Honestly,
I think... tough one. Honestly, I think anything that can turn you into a werewolf too, like werewolves are a problem, because if they slash you, or no, if they bite you, you can have the ability to turn into a werewolf bite, which might be a problem. But yeah.
Yeah. As a werewolf, there's a whole group of them called lycanthropes.
Yeah.
Which,
cool name, but big problem.
Yeah, I mean, the only way to remove Lycanthropy is through a remove curse spell.
Which you can kind of get, but still.
Yeah, there's various kinds, like from a werebear, boar, rat, tiger, and the most popular one, the werewolf.
Listen, I'm just saying, you could be aware anything if you think it makes sense. Because right now, Sunday campaign, imagine a were panda. How funny would that be? And how cool would that be? There's also maybe a were shark. I have seen that.
There's... What?
A were shark.
I have never heard such a thing. I doubt that exists.
It's a thing. I will search on my phone right now, and I will let you know that there is probably a stat for a were shark right now. Let me see. Yep. From the D&D Wiki, there is a were shark creature. It has 120 HP. It is a shapeshifter. It can breathe air and water. Blood frenzy, basically the same thing as a werewolf. I'm not kidding. There's that. There's a lot of were creatures. I'm gonna look up. Let's see how many were creatures there can be. There can be
Werebear.
A were raven. That's another one. There is a jackal-wares as well. I guess a jackal is the creature. That's another one. There is a, let's see, were sharks. Someone says that. There is a, let's see.
I said bear, there was rat, there was tiger, boar.
Ravens. Because Curse of Strahd.
I took care of that.
Oh, okay.
So far there's 8.
Oh, here's a whole list from the D&D Wiki. Ready? There is a dire were fox, a hill giant were tyrannosaurus. What?
Hey!
A lycro pickle, a were eagle, a were ape, a were bagger, a were bat, a were bat lord, a were bear lord. Oh my god, there's so many. There's a were crocodile, a were dog, a were dragon. How does that one work?
I do not want to know.
Me either. There's a were goat, a were frog, a were octopus, a were owl, a peacock, apparently, a were rex. I don't know what that one's supposed to look like. A were snake, a were spider, a were vulture.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, some do make sense. The octopus,
it's homebrewed.
What?
Hey, homebrew creatures. I will say, just to, as we're going to be ending this episode very soon, I will say, even though there is a monster manual and other source books for the amount of creatures you can, use in your game.
There's Monsters of the Multiverse. There's Monsters of the Multiverse. That's one of them.
Vogel's
Guide to Monsters.
And overall, you can also homebrew so many creatures as well. You can also adjust some of the stat blocks too. So let's say you want a werewolf to be a little bit more weaker or even stronger. Have a werewolf lord or something. You can change some of the stats or add some of the stats. Especially, just to give an example, for, Strahd, he was a lower level than the party. So I had to bring up his stats. So it's kind of even and balanced with the party, even though they killed him in 2 rounds. That is me being very weak on combat. But at the same time, everyone had fun. Any creature you interact will always be fun. And another common one, you'll probably run into goblins,
Orcs, bugbears.
Yep. But with that, we're going to end this episode here. I would love to hear what your favorite creature is, your least favorite creature, and something that you have not fought yet. Put that in the comments below, and we would love to hear your stories of what you fought, what you disliked, and what you wish to fight next. Well, that sounds like the final call for the Eye. It looks like we should be heading out and continuing our own adventures.
We thank you for joining and listening to our tales. We hope to see you again the next time we come by the Eye of Plenty when you hear our voices in the tavern.